minute. All right. Greetings. Let me just make sure we're live where we need to be live at. Okay. All right. We on Facebook Live and we're on YouTube. Yes. Perfect. All right. Awesome. Okay. All right. Greetings, everybody. Greetings. All right. I'm going to do an introduction and we'll get started with this live. Greetings, everyone. Welcome and welcome back to FGTV by Yamaya and JQ. Remember, this is a lifestyle channel that covers everything from holistic wellness, travel, fitness, self-care, beauty, things to do, and so much more. So we very much appreciate your like, share, and subscribe and comment within our videos. And and also this broadcast that we're doing is available in landscape and portrait. So feel free to choose whatever format you want for your device so you can have a nice experience watching it. All right, so this episode tonight, we'll be covering Recipes for Life in the kitchen. And it's entitled, The Elements Are Your Source of Nutrition. So we're going to go over and talk about food, wellness, holistic consumption, and so much more. And the panel tonight are H.P.S, Empress, Yamaya, Faye, Pocahontas, yes, Pocahontas Asè, and Shayola, Shay, Binta, your healer dealer. Almost, man, I've been practicing that all day. Your healer dealer. I love the healer dealer too, because it's like, but we'll talk more into that. We'll talk into more of that. And then yours truly, Heiress, Jauqline, Faye-Yemajier. Greetings. Thank you so much for, being in this live. And so, yes, how's everyone doing? And we'll start to commence. How's everyone doing? Tell me.
Better than great.
Well, I'm doing good. I'm not gonna lie to you though. I'm hungry. So if you start seeing me start to snack, I got a proper little mix. I'm hungry. The nerves to be cooking, and I haven't eaten yet. So I'm gonna be doing some of that. Okay.
Awesome.
Doing great in the great outdoors. The weather is perfect, so I'm awesome.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
It looks so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. So do you.
Great. Okay, so our main guest that had this first time her being on the stage here, Miss Shayola. We are here for Recipes for Life in the kitchen, and she's very much so in the midst of the food catering industry and other things as well. I did see some in our social media, and we do have all that tagged in the description box so you can check her out. But first things first, Shayola, please introduce yourself and what you do, and then we will continue on forward with that. Please.
Okay. Well, thank you first and foremost for having me. I am super excited to share with you what I have created this evening. I started off very many years ago, probably about 12, 13 years ago. I was known as Holistic Aleye, your healer dealer. I have since transitioned into the Green Plate Society, and still your healer dealer. But the Green Plate Society feels more at home for where I have evolved to. So, I'm excited to share my plant-based culinary artistry, near and far. And I've been on my healing journey for about 16 years now. And just, of course, always starts off, well, I can't say always. For me, it started off with just being in the hospital way too many times, and deciding that I wanted to take my power back, focus on my health holistically. And I was able to transition from, at my highest weight, I was about 190 pounds, 186-ish.
Okay.
And what I thought was infertile. And I ended up
Mm.
losing a bunch of weight and was able to maintain it. And then I was able to give birth. So I entered motherhood about 3 years ago. So I am a strong proponent for holistic wellness
Mm.
in every sense of,
Mm.
the concept, if you will.
Mm. Mm.
Okay,
Mm.
okay,
Mm.
okay. How
Okay.
long have you been like plant-based vegan? How long have you been that?
So vegan, I was vegan for about 12 years.
Okay, okay.
Um, no, more like 10, more like 10. And then when I had my baby, I started to eat certain fish for the omegas. But I do not share fish with community. You only get me on the plant-based side.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Mm.
So it was very important to me to recreate things that, we would consider comfort food or just really, really good. I shared on Facebook the other day that people really don't want to know. They don't care if it's vegan or plant-based. They just want to know that it tastes good. I mean, vegans want to know that it's vegan. Non-vegans really don't want to hear it. So I just strive to make my culinary experiences bold and very flavorful.
Mm. Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yes, yes. I've
Mm.
definitely seen that. I've definitely seen that in your I've been looking at some of the menus that you have.
Mm.
They are really like captivating. Let me just put it that way. It's just like, whoa, how did you think of this? How did you think of that? And it's really nice seeing that. And also Poca, she does her, she does her chefing baby, and
Yeah.
she's and she has like the vegan what is it, pop black eyed nuggets, the
Polka
nuggets,
nugget.
yeah, polka nuggets, things like that.
Okay.
And I did see a lot of reflection in your menus, and I'm just like, what, carrot tuna? What is this? Expound on that. And first of all, how do you come up with these recipes? Like what like something that inspires you to be like, okay, let me continue, let me do this. How do you come up with these menus? Because they really are captivating, I must say.
It's nice. Very much of it is, I would say, uploads. My mom is a culinary artist. My dad was a culinary artist. My grandfather
Mm.
was a caterer. My great grandfather was a culinary artist. So it really is,
Mm. Mm.
within me.
Mm.
Now, the carrot tuna was something that was not originally mine. I did, that was gifted from Queen Afua when I went through that healing journey, and I just made it my own. People
Mm-hmm.
seem to love it, so much so that it is available in a restaurant here in Richmond, along with the Shayola sauce. So
Mm.
whether my dad, when he passed away, as I was cleaning out his apartment, I found his recipe book. So just putting spins on, just different things that may come to me. Some of it may just be inspiration from, the internet. But,
Mm.
more so, I will think a thing into, you know, this
Mm.
beginning.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
That's really nice. And okay, we're gonna highlight the carrot tuna, and then we're gonna go to the other things. But you told me that you had a little show and tell type of thing. I like to see
Yes.
what you have.
I'm
Yes,
going to tilt the camera down just a little bit.
awesome. That's fine.
And we have our green bowl, and in it we have the carrot tuna. Now, the
All right.
carrot tuna is
Oh, can
very,
we see that up close?
yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry. It's
Heiress,
me.
let
It's me.
Heiress
It's
do
me. I
that.
just need to highlight. One second, beloved.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
yes. Whoa, that look like. So is it kind of like a tater salad? Does it kind of taste like that? Or
No, I mean, it's
what does it taste
more
like?
like really, it's more like tuna.
Okay.
It relates to the texture.
Uh huh.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What gives it the tuna vibe? Let's just talk
Mm-hmm.
about what's in it. Okay. So we have our elements here on the plate. I didn't even know
Thank
that.
you.
Or maybe
Yes.
it went over my head. But
Yeah.
we have green onion, we have parsley and cilantro, red onion, red pepper, celery, and some seaweed chips. Now, also I would add a little dulse or kelp, depending on what's available. But I try to make it so that all of those ingredients are in there. And do you want me to keep going with what?
Yeah. Show me. Yes, show us.
Okay. So another thing about this recipe is that it is pretty much zero waste. So before I go into the other food items, I just want to show that once you use, so I juice the carrots, I use the pulp for the tuna, and then you can just obviously just drink the juice. I've been adding orange and lemon to it with a dash of cinnamon, and it's so great. And carrot juice, carrots are really great for cleaning the spleen, which I don't know if we concentrate on cleaning the spleen.
That reminds me of Polka's. She be juicing too, so I love that. I love
I
that.
see myself in the future right now.
Yes.
My
that
reflection,
part.
like I already know, like when you juice carrots, you get carrot pulp, and you can make. I usually make like sushi with mine, the spicy tuna sushi. So to make the tuna salad or the carrot tuna, that is like perfect texture. That's the perfect texture. I never
Yeah.
thought of that, but I did try some
In
at a
that,
vegan restaurant. So yeah.
say it again, Polka.
Oh no, I tried some carrot tuna at a vegan restaurant on a sushi. So what you're making, I can already taste it. That's why I'm like, okay,
And watch Polka. Look at what she got.
Now, I did not bring my
my
knife.
goodness.
Look at.
Perfect. Yes, that's how you do it.
So with that and our chopsticks, what's inside of it is a kale salad.
That looks so good.
Nice.
That looks so
Salad. You have your red cabbage. You have some peppers. You have some sun-dried tomatoes and a wild rice. Now, I fancy this rice because what I noticed when my grandmother was visiting, it did not raise her blood sugar at all, which, rice has its own.
Which rice is that? Which rice is that again?
I think it's called Royal Line.
Royal Line. Okay.
But I will go in, I could be wrong, right? I started to bring the container and oh wait, let me see if I have the container. Hold on.
Okay. Because that's something
interesting. I'll put it in the comments though, so that
that is fine. That is fine.
The other thing is I love a good baked bread.
Oh, Shay. Yeah.
That bread look good too.
Yes.
You bake that bread yourself?
So this bread actually comes from a local baker here in the Richmond, Virginia area. Now, I don't really bake a lot of breads. Now, I'll dehydrate and make a raw bread. But this is just, I'm saying, eat it sparingly. It really is. And with it is also the Shayola sauce. So whether it's, you're just eating it with the salad and the rice with a little, just be maybe like an open face type of thing, whether it's a sandwich, whether it's a roll or a sushi roll, or sometimes I even make it, which people really love. I save that for like festivals and things. They like it in an egg roll, which is also
very, very nice. Very, very nice.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that display. Okay, I have one last question before I pass it off to Polka, because she does have some really nice questions for you. The Shayola sauce. So what is it? What is it, baby? Tell me.
Yes.
Aioli sauce is a play on aioli, and of course,
Mhm.
aioli
Yes.
has egg in it. So it is a vegan mayo, a no soy mayo by Follow Your Heart, and I like that brand in particular because it just works. It also has a little maple syrup in it. It
Mm,
has
Ooh,
mm,
nice.
mm.
butter
Nice.
and parsley and cilantro with a little squeeze
Nice.
of
Nice.
lemon. It's so good.
Mm,
Hmm.
mm, mm.
No, I love that. Really, really nice. Oh, I can't wait to have some of your food because it's just
I'm on the way.
facts,
That
facts,
part, that
facts.
part. I want to jump
Okay,
in just for a
Polka,
moment.
please.
Can I
Oh,
ask
okay.
her
Wait,
one
what's up?
moment before we pass it off to Annette Polka? Um,
Mhm.
my love, Shayola, Shay. Hey,
Yes,
baby, I
darling.
miss you.
I miss you
Love you.
too. I love you too.
You have done so much, so much. I'm gonna touch into my questions after Poker gets finished, but I must say that I'm trusting that you are spreading this tremendously, like really just expanding it in the business, as far as deliveries, catering. I mean, real talk, because I always say that I make love to people with my food. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Because most of us, we all attach food in so many different realms, whether it just be a family gathering, comfort food, something that makes your body feel good, all of that. But the biggest thing I found is when I cook for people, the love that I get and receive from cooking from them, and just the pure joy of seeing how they smile, you know what I mean? Or that's good. Or, most people back in the day, you pull off away from the table,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. You have to have people walk around. But when you can heal people with your food, hello. And when you can speak into the things that you are preparing, and you're preparing it with love, number one, you're speaking into that food, number two. You're not just gonna make a
Yeah.
plate of food and say here to your husband or here to your baby. You're gonna actually put some love and intention into that food, so you know that it will resonate no matter what it is. Okay. So I just want to honor you in that regards, and
Ashe.
just speak continuous expansion with you with that, because I know what I do for mine and those around me. So I know that anybody that tastes yours is going to get that same vibration. Okay. I love
Yeah.
you. I share all
Love
the
you
love.
too. Love you
Okay.
too.
We'll go ahead and pass it
Ashe.
to Pocahontas. Let her go ahead. I had to drop that though. Good love.
Oh yeah. Well, firstly, all your food looks so delicious, and
Thank
also it
you.
just like reminds me of my food as well, because I also cook. You call it. I went to your page, your Instagram, and I see
Mm,
you the way you refer to food in different ways, like plant forward. So
mm-hmm.
I think we're so
Mm.
stuck on the word vegan that when you said that, I'm like, I love that she said it like that, because vegan, we don't know what that means.
We don't know what that means.
Nobody really knows what that means.
Tell the
I'm just
truth.
out here using words.
Tell the truth.
So I just love the words you use, the Shayola sauce, because like I say polka, I put polka in my food, the name
Mm-hmm.
of my recipe. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
this is my reflection. She is my reflection.
I
So
Yeah.
share.
my first question, but I believe when you did your introduction, you pretty much answered it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so my question is, well, I love that you call food, you refer to food as medicine. And
Mm-hmm.
my question was, um, what ways has food healed you? And I feel like you answered that, but if you didn't, and if you want to add on and expand to that, I would love to hear it.
Thanks for asking the question. And to Empress's point, like, it really is the vibration, right? Because everybody has to eat.
Mm.
And I feel that it really is, it's medicine. And people ask all the time, like, oh, call me, I'll help you. I'll help you prep. I'll help you do a thing. And no anything to the people who have said that I will help. I just haven't gotten there yet, right? Because what vibration are you coming with? You know,
Mm-hmm.
chop my food and all of the things, because it really is it is my love language.
Yeah.
Thank
It
you.
is it's my art. So just to have anyone doing a thing, it's just like, you know.
Yeah.
But the food is medicine in that, again, in my own life,
Mm,
seeing how it has not only transformed me, but the people around me. Like,
mm,
I remember this one girl saying, I started out in community with tacos, vegan tacos, plant-based tacos. And
I
we were
think Leah, sorry, she does that too. Polka does that too. Sorry, sorry. I'll go back. Sorry.
she says, she says, "Are you the taco lady?" And I was just like, "I guess I am." She said, "I don't remember your name, but I remember how your food made me feel."
Ashe.
That's what I'm talking about.
No,
That's what I'm talking about.
you don't have to
That
remember
hurt.
my name, but if you can remember the way that my food made you
Thank
feel
you.
job well done. You know,
Thank you.
the ways that it has healed me is my menstrual,
Mm, mm.
being as
Speak about it.
ferocious as it once was.
Speak
Um,
about it.
I had kidney stones. Really, I had them 3 times, and I had 3 different surgeries, not realizing that,
Mm,
the kidney stones was really just old food that just did not move through the system.
mm, mm-hmm,
Okay. Okay.
And losing pregnancies, had an ectopic pregnancy, had
mm,
ectopic
mm,
tube. My baby came here with 1 tube and 3 months early.
mm, mm,
So,
mm,
even just being in the vibration of pulling in, or being able to bring forth a soul,
mm,
yeah, I deeply contribute that to the medicine that is,
mm,
my food, the love that is my food.
mm, mm, mm,
Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
I love that. So a lot of people need to hear that as well because I have tried to usher people into a healthier way of eating, and I have been told I'm gonna die eating happy, and I'm like, yes, you are, yes, you
Mhm.
are. Hey, but yes, I love that. People need to hear that, and I'm gonna make sure that I share this to the people that said those things to me.
They don't know, you
They
know.
don't.
I mean,
But
I
I
don't.
also had a mentor that used to say, people are not listening until they're asking questions, right? So,
Exactly. Yes.
I don't strive
Ooh,
to,
Wow. Wow.
nice.
you should eat this way, you should do a thing.
Nice.
I'm a
Thank you.
living testament that
Yeah.
food, it's the fuel. So if you're going to fuel this vessel, this vehicle, why not fuel it with at least mid grade? So I think that most, if not all, of our diseases comes from a lack of awareness as it relates to what we're feeding ourselves. That
Mm-hmm,
information is real, and I was
mm-hmm,
gobbling it up. I
mm-hmm.
was, born and raised in Brooklyn. Give me a toasted butter bagel with some egg and cheese with a fork of white meat every day. And I didn't realize how
Mhm.
really I really took this meat suit, if you will, through some things, due to my ignorance. But I'm just grateful that
Mm,
something said, "Girl, you gonna
mm-hmm.
die if you
That
don't
part.
get yourself
That part.
together."
Now,
Mm.
I would like to add a point in here because all of us here, we have our own walk of life. We've all
Mhm.
dealt with eating as whether it be a comfort, whether it was just something we were taught or weren't taught. However, one thing that I found to be quite interesting is the fact that not only is it a vibration, but it tends to be a cultured way of showing oneself, expressing, because you can say this is soul food, other people can go across the world and they'll have a certain dish made a certain way. And you literally can have the same ingredients, but prepared in a different way, which causes a different vibration, which also allots a different movement within the body, because it's going to, of course, work with your digestive system. It's going to have a certain vibration too, based on the person who's cooking it, how it's prepared, how it's grown. Now, I will say, going back and forth from Europe to uh, America, there's certain things that I didn't even think about going into the grocery store in Europe. I just go in and pick up the apples, some tomatoes, this or that. And literally going to the marketplace and being able to have those particular choices of many different things. Whereas here in America, you're going to have to like watch every little thing that you're eating, which atypically, even if the label says that it's one thing, it may not actually. I see your glasses, baby. It may not actually be that particular food or what it is they're saying it is. Okay, so oftentimes we do deal with people that say, okay, I don't eat this, I don't eat that, or, you know, I get this a lot. They were going, okay, so are you vegan? Are you plant based? So yeah, I said, I am based on my totality, how my body says, because I am quite aware and sensitive enough to know my body's saying, no, you don't need to have that over there. You need to be having this right now. And of course, okay, I'm 50 plus. I'm 53. Yes, I'm cute and ancient. Hello, and
Looking
ancient.
gorgeous.
Okay, but the body is going through a certain system.
Yeah.
So the body had, so premenopausal, pause of this, that. My body is telling me right now, okay, I need to go over here and have more protein. I need to go over here. So maybe one person may say, I need to have some meat. Maybe I'll find it in a different source. I'll find that protein in something else, some chickpeas, or, you know, we have to allot ourselves the time to experience life, but then know when to get off the boat if that stuff is going to hang you. I'm just saying. Most people would go ahead and drink. Okay, well, I don't drink alcohol, but you drink a whole bunch of soda. I
Right.
mean,
Right.
so we all have to be allotted that room to breathe, to enter and overstand, but then to also, you know, search out our own totality, our own way of how we eat, because I have seen people who literally are plant based and vegan look this big and really have been very sick, very ill,
I've
because
seen it too.
their body is saying, no, that's not the program you need, my love, because you're doing it because you want to be trendy, or you're doing this because this, well, this is good, and I'm just gonna have a whole bunch of smoothies and I, baby, but your body is now fighting itself because you're not actually giving it the source and the, what we call it, the elements, okay? The elements being the source of your nutrition. Then you add them and you couple what you're eating. Now, okay, most people think we eat just from the mouth. Well, let's speak about how we eat from the ears, from the sight, from who we're laying with. Okay, that's a whole nother subject, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
throw it in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That other, so who you laying with? That's also an energy source. You're also eating from that. So you couple that with what you're putting in your mouth, what you're hearing, who you're embodying, and you know, in
Yeah.
your bedroom. You're eating a whole lot more than you think that you're eating. So we have to be able to source that, which ultimately affects our health. It does affect our health, our sight line, what we're doing, who we're speaking with, you know, that whole nine.
Yeah.
So I want to ask all the ladies on the panel, actually, all of us, what was that key factor for yourself when it comes to all of the things that you're eating that you had to be mentally aware of? Because the source, all of the elements, fire, water, wind, all of those things operate in us. And they also come from what we eat, but from what we listen to, who we're sleeping with, how we move. What was that one thing for yourself that you would say spiritually when you started to pick up that food? You realized it was more than just what you were looking at on your plate. You really had a, because we have a relationship with food.
Mm-hmm.
Where was that for you, or when did that reality, that light bulb come on, like, oh God, okay, I have a relationship with this food and it's out of control?
No.
Eris, you want to start? Yep, I picked you.
Sure did. Uh, okay, so my relationship with the food was definitely it was like over comfort. Let's just put it that way. Over comforting. I used to, in a way, yes, eat big meals and also snack in between as well. And I believe that was rooted in my childhood type of thing, because it's like there was times where the food was a little bit limited, so it's like when I had the abundance of the food, I was just like, oh, eat it, eat it, eat it, because it's like, okay, you don't know when it's ever gonna come back. Eat it,
Mm,
and just
mm,
continue. So it was just like I know that's the root of what it was.
okay. Mm-hmm.
So I definitely confronted that. How long ago was that? When I think, was it 4 years ago or something, where did lose a significant amount of weight. And it was basically through the main thing. It was through fasting. I didn't really go to the gym. It was mainly, well, let me just tap into how my relationship with this food is. Like,
Mm.
why is it that I just ate, but I'm just like, oh, you fool, be like, I need something sweet. It's just,
That's real.
Be real.
it's just
Yes.
like, why is that? So
Yep.
I practiced the fasting thing, and that really did discipline me.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not like you're just gonna eat again. It's just like, no, wait a certain amount of time, and then you eat within this window.
Mm.
Not eat like a freaking crazy person, the
Mm-hmm.
freaking pig. Just eat still, structured, and then wait some time. And during that time, I really did focus on that, and I repaired it. So for
Ashe.
myself, it definitely was comforting, and it's just
Mm.
like, oh, when are you gonna have this again? Make sure you eat it and continue
Ashe.
eating it. That's
Mm-hmm.
what it was with me,
Ashe.
definitely.
I have to ask because food is being weaponized against us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna be quiet again. Who's next? Who next? Come on. No, 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 Shayla, you wait. I'm asking my babies. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Poker.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Oh, for me, I would say, so food for me started off like as a cultural thing, as you were saying,
Mm.
um, before, um, how we're just attached to food culturally. So I used to eat whatever my parents made me, and I ate what they ate, and mostly that was pork, greasy food, a lot of butter,
Mm.
a lot of oil, a lot of fried food. A big
Mm-hmm.
plate of breakfast in the morning, eggs, pancakes, some bacon. And I would think I'm supposed to eat this every day. So I would eat it every day. It didn't make me
Mm.
gain weight, but it did cause problems in my body. I did notice like my cramps were horrible. Even when
Mm.
when I wasn't on my cycle, it was still pain. And then I started my alkaline vegan journey, and that lasted about I think about 2 years. And after like the first 3 months or the first month, I noticed that the pain went away, and
Mm.
that for me was like, okay, this is good for me. But I tried to do it longer, but I didn't feel satisfied. I didn't feel
Mm.
fulfilled, and I was getting smaller and smaller, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
already small.
Yeah.
So, I just went to the vegan diet, just plant based, and I just was eating plants and produce, and that seemed to work for me for a while. But most recently, I noticed like I want to gain weight. I don't want to be small.
Mm.
So
Mm.
I
Mm.
just balanced out my diet. I added fish and eggs to my diet, and
Mm.
sometimes cheese, and
Mm.
that works for me. And I still eat my vegetables. I still drink my herbal teas, and I
Mm-hmm.
feel like now I am in balance. I have balance now.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is what
Ashe.
my body wants to eat. So this is what I'm going to eat. But I still promote plant based,
Yeah.
options because
Yeah.
we still need to take a break sometimes.
Ashe.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Thank you. I appreciate you sharing.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
beloved. Come on, Shayola, give it to us. So you already basically gave it to us.
Yeah, yeah. I was abusive. I had an
Mm,
abusive relationship with food.
mm, mm,
I think to Eris's point, just like maybe out of lack. I don't know when.
mm,
So I'm just
mm,
gonna go in
mm.
on
Yeah.
it. Your body
Mine's
wants to talk to you.
mine came in that session of actually being that pleaser. I was definitely in the fashion and image industry. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm 6'2". So
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to fit in a box.
Mm-hmm.
However, I did have the cultural side as well, because the family was eating certain parts of the members of the family were eating certain things, and I was just like, y'all have lost y'all mind. I'm not eating all that mayonnaise, and that stuff looked nasty. Now, did I not like mayonnaise? No, of course I liked mayonnaise.
Mm-hmm.
However, I just saw that some of the family members, all of us are, you know, tall people. We're big people. So if you add more, you're just gonna be a glutton. I
Mm-hmm.
start seeing a glutton. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ever stop laughing because I'm trying to refrain my mouth. But
Yeah,
you don't
it's
want
so
to be
funny. I got the translation in my head, but I was just like, nope, don't say it, don't say it, just don't say it.
but you don't want to be a glutton. You just started seeing that it just didn't look right. What we weren't being able to move. The family members were slow, and we're all athletic, and we're all like, wait a minute. And then you
Mm-hmm.
start to see the heaviness on people, like the
Mm-hmm.
heaviness that was
Yeah.
not just coming from the food, but the food was compounding it. So I
Mm-hmm.
start looking beyond. So outside of getting myself out of a way of thinking, because I would see people literally becoming bulimic in the culture of, let's say, fashion and that sort of thing. And I thought, oh my God, I need to like fit in this, but I can't take away this big old cooler in the back. I was losing jobs because people thought, oh wow, she's perfect. That looks great. And then I turned to the back and it was a whole table back there. I'm just I'm keeping one. It was a table. And so I was losing jobs and I thought, okay, well, maybe I need to get skinny. Mm-mm.
Girl,
Mm-mm. No, no.
girl.
Because what I saw the ladies doing, they were turning themselves into bulimics. They were losing control of their totality. And I said, oh no, if I go down this road, I'm going to lose control too. There's no balance in that. And then in the fact I'm doing, I'm staying in balance, but then here comes two twin babies. And now my body's like, hold up, you ain't got enough here. You don't
Yeah.
have enough. You don't have enough. And they're big babies. They didn't want to come in small. They wanted to come in large, 8 pounds, 22 ounces. They wanted to come in kicking, like just what the hell. My body was like, what the hell? Okay, your balance, your glucose is going to be out of whack. So gestational diabetic, like really the depth of what we are and who we are, how we move, how these elements service us. So I needed that blood to be, the white and red cells to be on point, because now I got to service another two bodies. So I have to watch what it is I'm consuming. And even if it was a little bit of something, honey, if they didn't agree with it, my body would get out of whack.
Yeah.
So oftentimes we're kind of careless in many aspects of it, because we can control what we eat. And
Mm.
nowadays, often too, now we're doing the shots. Everybody's taking the shots so you can get quickly lose that weight. Okay, that's a whole nother subject, but let's just keep it 100.
Shayola with the freaking
You
glasses.
can take a shot, but that doesn't help you with your discipline. I'm just
I
saying.
always said that. Yep,
You
facts.
gonna take that shot. It's gonna help
Facts.
you lose whatever it is. You can actually get that surgery. But if
Yep,
you haven't
facts.
removed and correct the mindset, if you
Yep,
have not correct
that's
your
what I
mindset,
said.
you're just gonna go back to that very thing.
Yep,
People always say, you know what, I want to move out of the ghetto. Okay, we all depending on where you at, where you live, because some people will say the Ritz Carlton is the ghetto. Depends on where the mindset is. Okay, I'm just
Yep.
saying.
Yep.
If
Yep.
you want to move out of the ghetto, boy, you're actually going to take that same mindset no matter where you go. So if you haven't changed the way you have that relationship with food, what you're eating,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to take that in everywhere. Everywhere. Can you conserve? Can you conserve yourself? You know, take on that ownership for yourself of what you're putting in your mouth. The depth, if we don't realize that culture part, as we all mentioned, that culture part transcends the person that you're sleeping with, the person that's cooking your food, that that passes to you as well. So
Oh, really?
those particular elements now can all be weaponized because we all, sugar is high.
Yeah.
Sugar's in
Mm-hmm.
everything. So I love when people would tell diabetics, well, don't eat sugar.
Stop. I never
But
heard about that.
we do have to do our own research. You know what I mean? We do have to do our own research first and foremost. Our body knows more than we know. It's us getting aligned with that particular thing. I don't oftentimes I have people do come to me, oh, okay, well, because we are retreat chefs too. Heiress and I both are retreat chefs. We cook too. We get in the kitchen. However, I will tell people oftentimes when they say, well, what's good for me? Should I be doing this or should I be doing that? I first and foremost say to them, what is your discipline?
Yeah.
Can you discipline yourself?
Mm.
I can't
Mm-hmm.
write you a ticket that you're, excuse my mouth, you know what I mean? That as your old school would say, write that check that your ass can cash.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That part. Your discipline has to be first with yourself. Where's your mindset at? And that's the biggest thing that I'm finding. And I'm listening to most people because the trauma that's going on within the self and then externally hasn't been matched with what it is they need first. So we'll find things, we'll reach for things. And the quickest thing is food because it's everywhere, like literally
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Sugar is everywhere,
Yeah.
everywhere.
Like you said,
And that's that discipline that we would have to have with ourselves. You know what I mean? Oh, no, 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 it's too expensive to eat healthy. It's too, you know, that those sort of things. So I appreciate all of you because all of you have been on a journey. We've all been on a journey. I appreciate the fact that all of us can commune together and actually speak about what would help us. And I please, please, please take it from me. What would help someone find their find their place and have a good relationship with food? Any one of us, because we do want people to enter and understand it's their journey, but what would be that one thing that you would say to someone who's listening to this right now or even in the future, because we speak those things into existence because we are that, we are being that, we're operating in that, and we
Yeah.
believe source, that would help them start today, whenever that is, to have a good relationship with food. Who would like to take that? Who wants to take it?
I would say, Empress. I want to respond to something that you said about the discipline because
Ashe.
that's very important. Um, when I tell people, when I used to tell people that I was vegan, they would be like, "Oh, you can't eat this, you can't eat that." Like, no, I decide not to eat it. It's I can eat it whatever I want to eat. I'm choosing
Mm-hmm.
not to eat certain things.
yeah.
So I love that. It is about discipline. But I would say for someone to have a better relationship with food is to do your research, learn your body,
Mm,
physically and spiritually,
mm,
learn what it is that your body wants to eat or what it really needs physically, because we might be lacking iron. We might be
mm.
lacking certain
Thank you.
vitamins, certain minerals. So you need to see what foods offer what your body needs, um,
Mm,
and make
mm,
it taste good.
Ashe. Love that. Love
I
that.
will. I will go next and say, um, like, going off of what Focus said with like research. research more the connection between food and the emotions.
Mm.
Food and emotions, because there's things where, like, if you feel stressed or whatever, you tend to go for crunchy foods or something like that. And there's like a whole, if you search it,
Yeah.
food and emotions, you will see a whole diagram, and it's very, very relatable. So the next time, because even with myself, when I would feel, stressed or whatever, I'll just pick up freaking chips, eating the chips like crazy, like for real,
Why
eating a whole bag.
cereal is so popular.
Yes,
Hello.
yes, exactly, exactly. So that part. So the next time you end up going on to like that impulse, you're just like, wait, hold up. Let me just try something different to ease and to relieve my stress that I'm having, or the anxiety or whatever. Let me not use the food. Let me use my own mental state, because that's like the main thing. You don't want to depend on something outside of you to bring you into a state of bliss type of thing. So it's really, really, it's actually goes into more like a spiritual work too, because it's like just having your own system, you're high on your own supply type of thing. You know what I mean? Not depending on the other food. So that's why I would say connection with food and the emotions. And
I say,
Shayola,
I say.
what do you think?
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. Shayola?
Yeah, I agree with both of the ladies. The choice, the making a decision, overstanding the correlation between emotion and what you are choosing to eat, and honestly, really incorporating detoxing and fasting. It doesn't matter what you eat.
Shay.
It doesn't matter. It really just doesn't matter to a certain degree. But having the space to reset the body or just give the body a moment to calm down so that I can really tune into what is going on inside of me is necessary. It's again, you wouldn't drive a car with no gas. You would not drive a car endlessly with no oil changes, and the body is the same. It needs those tune-ups, if you will. And speaking of tune-ups, that's what I use to determine what someone may need to incorporate in their diet. And I love what you said, Empress, in regards to it not being like a fad or a trend. Like, I'm not eating a thing because, like, did your body tell you that? Or are you doing it because you know that this is what your body needs? And overstanding that when we are eating or consuming a lot of shelf foods, it usually is made in some sort of lab and the body doesn't recognize it. It recognizes it as foreign matter, so to speak, and it doesn't process through the body. So it just sits until you are intentional about moving it. And what I'm hearing Spirit say is varicose veins, varicose veins. Like if if you see these, that's your body's way of saying, I need you to relieve some pressure off of me. So how about not eating?
So now I will add the last thing before I imagine all of us go back to our beautiful lives, and we want to see your food again before we finish too. But
Okay.
the depth of it is when we start to ask if somebody is dealing with inflammation, what would you say they need to eat?
Uh, produce and
No.
plants.
Okay, produce and plants.
Yeah.
If some okay, so thyroids because ladies tend to deal with a lot of thyroids. Would you say beets are good for that?
Yeah.
Beets.
Beets,
Okay.
I would say a combination of beets, carrots, and celery.
Okay.
Celery is a great diuretic, so it will help you to increase the urine. And of course, toxicity is removed through the urine. I would say definitely erring on the side of herbs, just
Mhm.
anything that is, just not mucus forming. You know,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
if you're in an active healing cycle, I would say eliminate the flesh foods and eliminate the mucus forming foods and allow your body to re regulate. And ignite the palate. Because when we eat these dilapidated foods for so long, our taste buds are like, null and void, pretty much. So,
Pocahontas,
actually, yeah.
I have a question for you too. When it comes to, because you had made mention to the menstrual cycle, what
Mm.
about this for women when it comes to their menstrual cycle, as well as I have one more too, when it comes for the men. What should men be doing when it comes to their prostate? Because men deal with a lot as they get older, and eating the wrong foods, their prostate, and women with their menstrual. What should they be eating?
Oh, women with their menstrual. I would have to go back to what Shayola was saying about the detoxing process
Mm,
because I believe that's what I did. So for 3 days, I didn't eat anything. I just drank water, and I don't remember if it was tea and water, but I believe I just drank tea and water. And then also for the 3 days after, I ate like produce. So
mm,
I had a
mm,
fruit salad in the morning with some quinoa and tahini. And then for dinner, I just had a vegetable salad. So I just put a whole bunch of vegetables and some green leaves, no dressing. I think I used tahini for dressing. And after doing that for about the 6 days, I felt completely like regulated.
mm, mm.
So, yeah, the detoxification I believe is very helpful. And then that also, like you were saying about the Shayola, you just said about the palate, like cleansing. My taste buds, I was able to eat things that I thought I didn't like
Mm-hmm.
ginger and what else is it? Just more bitter things. I was just able to drink tea without honey, without
Yeah,
sugar.
Mm,
yeah,
mm-hmm.
So my palate had a whole restart. I am not sure about the
The
what is that
prostate.
thing? The prostate. I'm
Okay,
not
the
sure about
prostate.
that, but I'm sure the same process will
The,
help
the
as well.
detoxing for prostate is definitely one. Ginseng is really good as well
Okay.
for
I was
men.
thinking ginger.
Yeah, they definitely
Mhm.
want to be able to do that because you do tend to find a lot of men because they'll eat meat. So detoxification is really good, but ginseng is another. Weight loss. Anybody want to tap into weight loss when it comes to foods, like actually being able to eat something? Eris, what outside of doing the water fast, what did you eat?
For the most part, if you're struggling with, sorry, not struggling, not that way, trying to lose weight, and your main reason for how you say gaining the weight that you are trying to lose is for like eating all the time or whatever, eat foods, and it goes back to what Shayola and Boca said. Eat that freaking those the produce, eat the fruits and stuff like that. Eat foods with a lot of water content in it because it will make you feel fuller. My
Like
gosh.
cucumbers,
Yes, yes,
watermelon.
yes,
Okay.
all of that, for real. Because you can, and on top of that, you don't have to worry about the calories. There's a thing where if you search it too, the calories of Oreos, 3 Oreos, compared to what you can have equivalent in strawberries, for example. You could have a whole bowl of strawberries for the same amount of Oreos. It's a fact because Oreos, they have a whole bunch of calories in it. So really pay attention to foods that are high in volume but less in calories, and they happen to be fruits and vegetables.
Mm.
For real. So all you do, you get creative because it can get a little boring, but you get creative. You put flavor in it and stuff like this. But that's what it makes stir fries, and you will not be hungry, but you'll be losing that weight because you're not eating as much calories. That's what I would have to say about that.
Yes,
Hmm.
Shay. So I want to go back to Shayola. If you'll close this out, I have kind of taken the reins here because I'm definitely one that is dealing with a lot of people in fitness, in stretching, and a key area that most people don't deal with is the spiritual aspects of culture with food, who they're sleeping with, who's feeding them their food, and the emotional attachment, the relationship with food. I do want to go back to you with your delicious food and tell us again about what you made. I appreciate all you ladies. Definitely, definitely. Heiress, I'll let you continue. But please, Shayola, show us again the food for
Yeah,
those who might have
absolutely.
missed it.
And to veggie back as it relates to the prostate, as Poca said, it is really the same process as women, overstanding that there's nothing after the rib cage, right? So the organs are kind of free flowing. So if you're consuming, and you are not releasing or detoxing, then the colon becomes impacted. And when the colon becomes impacted, it sits on the urinary tract. And when the urinary tract is impacted, it either sits heavy on the womb or it sits heavy on the prostate. So I am also a certified yoni steam practitioner, and I offer what I have coined as pro steams or bro steams for the men to incorporate a maintenance to help them relieve some of the tension and
Thank
the
you.
impact.
Speak
Um,
about it. That's what they
of,
need to hear. People need to hear this.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and it works. Mainly what I do hear from the men is, oh, I feel like I have to, go to the bathroom. Good. Take that pressure. And I actually said this to someone early today. When you have boy children, sometimes they may have what we call a leaky penis, right? And we dismiss it. And a leaky penis can, or phallus can become prostate issues as they get older because it was never tended to. But all that is really saying is my stomach is really, really, really full and it's putting pressure and it's causing me to, pee a little when I'm really peeing or urinating. So I just wanted to say that. Pro steams or bro steams for the men, equally as important as the yoni steams
Yes, of course.
for the women. But just
Okay.
to get you back, we have carrot tuna, okay, which is very, very versatile. You can have it as let me go back to what's in it. And what's in it are your green onion or your scallions, red onion. Red onion helping to, both onions really, helping to reduce inflammation, push that fire, pushing it out, or burning it out. You have your parsley and cilantro. You have your red pepper, celery, and some seaweed chips, which can also be used just to scoop up the carrot tuna and eat it like so.
I'm hungry.
You can. What was that, Empress?
I'm
She said she
hungry.
hungry.
You can do some sushi rolls if you like with it, and within the sushi rolls or the carrot tuna rolls, however you want to frame it, is a wild rice. You can use black rice. You can use purple rice. But I do err on the side of not just like a brown rice or a white rice. Kale salad with all of the accoutrements to include red cabbage and your peppers and some tomatoes.
Good, good,
And
good.
then again, we have a locally sourced bread.
Show that bread again. I want to see the bread up close. Wait, wait, wait. Okay. Because people do like bread now.
You do.
Okay.
And it's not, again, this is not to be so regimented and no. We're here on earth to evolve and to enjoy, right? So I'm not saying deprive yourself of a thing. I'm just saying listen to your body. When you have those, albeit a cramp, it is saying, oh, wow, I am inflamed in some type of way. So I'm not going to eat the breads. Or I'm going to err on the side of maybe like an Ezekiel bread that is just sprouted grain, something that doesn't have the flour.
Right,
You
right,
know.
right. So
And
you definitely
the
want to have
juice.
a lot more grains. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta
You
have
know,
community.
and I get people who may have celiac or they have
Mm.
issues with processing vitamin K. You know, I can understand. You know, you may not eat greens like others, but there's so many other ways. And to Polka's point, you talk about what I can have, but there's so much that I choose to have. And I'll be 50 soon, so I am grateful for an opportunity to age and still, feel like my 21-year-old self.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yes, exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh, I love this. I love this. And I
Thank
know
you.
for sure there is definitely going to be a part two because with Empress expounding on the yoni steam and the male, the pro steam, it's called pro steam. I looked at Shayola. I looked at your page and I was just like, okay, no, but we got to do another show about yoni steam. And they literally just, I think, 3-4 days ago, we posted, Poca posted on FGTV her yoni steam because she did a brew and it was a nice brew and it was smelling good. And I was just like, no, most definitely, we're going to have to get Shayola back on this freaking channel to speak
Mhm.
about that. And
Yeah.
I
definitely
am
speak
here.
about the male side. Thank you. And
Yeah.
speak
Exactly.
about the male side because a lot of men, they don't speak about the men's side. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
listen, men are still beings. They
Yeah.
still have
Yep.
systems and stuff like that. You know what I
And
mean?
they
They
have
keep
a they have a
neglected.
relationship with food as well. And when they get stressed or when they feel trauma, what are they
Yes.
eating? They're usually going to eat a steak. They're going to have some, something real
Yes.
heavy to drink. But so we need to elaborate more when it comes to our men as well. When
Yes.
it comes to the melanated king, we need
Yes.
to speak to him. We also need to feed him in a certain way. And
Indeed.
we need to feed him in multiple ways, not just what we're giving to him on the plate to eat, but what he's listening to, what he's seeing, how we're being. That's also something that he will eat and sup from. So it's definitely a multifaceted way of the elements that we choose to sup with. And
And
I
just to looking
appreciate
back
that.
on that, Empress, my apologies for cutting across you. Also, for them to realize what they are consuming and
Yep.
how that could not only affect them, as you were talking or alluding to who you sleep with, because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of that is passed through the semen or it's
Yes.
passed through energetically.
Yep.
So what he's eating, I don't eat that, but if he's eating it, you're definitely eating.
Yes, most
You may
definitely.
not even
That
know.
You're right.
It's just throwing your pH balance off or whatever the case
that
may
part.
be. So, yeah.
That
That's such
part.
facts. That's
I
such facts.
appreciate it.
Yes, no,
Yes,
I love
honey.
this. I love this. So most definitely, I love it, Miss Shayola. You're ready for a part two. That I love that because definitely we can expound more on this, and I appreciate it definitely. And also, there was a few questions that we didn't get to, but we definitely will get to it in the part two. Poca had some really good questions, but we gonna pass off the part two because we're gonna keep this ball rolling.
Yes, yes, yes,
Like
yes.
that. But I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, everyone, and also all of our viewers for watching. I trust this episode has given you much enlightenment off of something that we can't ignore. You know what I mean? I think
Yep.
we can go a certain amount of time without food, but eventually we are going to have to eat. It's just a fact. So
Yep.
this is
That part.
definitely yeah. So this is definitely something that's quite important. So I trust that it gave you guys lots of enlightenment. And we look forward to seeing you in the part two and in all the other videos on our channel. Okay. So thank you so much. And
Thank you, Shayola.
everyone on the
Most
panel,
welcome.
everyone on the panel, please stay on. Please stay on. I'm going to end the live. But I want you guys all to stay on, okay? So we go backstage, all right? So
Love you
thank you so
guys.
much, everyone. Thank you. Ciao.
Ciao for now. Okay, I can.